Gravy, baby.
Welcome to Gravy Baby. We live in a post-truth world. Mark, leave all that in, especially the boo. Guys, we don't know what temperature is. Well, I don't think Carmen does. I'll go ahead and say that so I can start a fight. Genocide is not genocide. Nazi salutes are not Nazi salutes.
Right.
It lowers taxes when you raise them.
Yeah.
I don't know. We have fucking literal Nazis in the street for the last few years. I think it was DJ that pointed this out very recently on a thread I was on. But now people are freaking out.
Yeah. Weren't freaking. Nobody said a damn word when they was running around Columbus and damn.
A few people did. To be fair, a few people did.
But no, yeah.
But nobody.
Name people that you know. Name everyone you know who did it.
Name their best record.
Yeah, name their first album. If you're a fan, name their first album.
No, it is true. It is true. You're right.
Well, the media didn't talk about it, I think is your point. Not a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is they're at this point, can we even call it media? It just seems like it's fear entertainment. It's not media anymore. I mean, journalism doesn't exist on television anymore. That's my hot take.
Yeah, no. It never did. It never did.
There was some. I feel like there was some before
These are hot
everything.
Takes, but they feel like cold takes. If I don't get another one in the rest of the hour, I can live on that.
Yeah, I think there was journalism, especially investigative journalism, before everybody started getting bought out. Before everything was owned by 3 companies, I think there was. That's when the checks and balances existed, back when we had an actual middle class.
Back when you could smoke and do the news.
Yeah.
Dude, that might fix some stuff.
See, maybe
still smoke and do the news, and we'd all done lung cancer.
Maybe that is what older folks are talking about when they talk about the good old days. Is like there was still the idea of safety still existed, and the idea of free will still existed, and the idea of it still
segregation.
Yes, of course.
Different water fountains.
Yeah, I'm talking about the 80s, not the 50s.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll give you that, DJ, but I got to say, like, in the 90s, I'm not saying, like, look, as I'm sure as a straight white man, I could say this about many eras, but before you had, so, like, if you look at Clinton, Bush, Obama, back to back to back, the through line, so there's some differences. The through line there was globalization, and you know, some people argue, well, that was coming whether you wanted it to or not, fair. But the way in which that rolled out, and then this new neoliberalism that we got, I mean, I just saw this video of this kid taking down this lady who has dedicated her life to, like, the homeless problem in LA. But she makes like $250 grand a year. She heads up a project that has spent $63 million to build 41 apartments that will be low-income housing only for 10 years. Because this is how the market solves, that was his point, this is how the market solves homelessness. When you let the market solve something, you spend $60 million for 41 apartments for 10 years. And the government doesn't own them. These apartments that you build with the government money doesn't belong to the government. They were built through grants by private people who own the apartments, have to make them low-income apartments for 10 years, but then they're going to do whatever they want with them. I'm getting a little maybe in the weeds, but my point is, the through line of those 3 presidencies was to cut the middle class. That was what got me started when Carmen said that. Maybe that is what the good old days are. Maybe we can leave behind the racism, leave behind the sexism, leave behind the homophobia, transphobia, but actually get back to a place where you can work a job, own a house, have health care, and raise 1.5 kids. You know, you have to. It's on you if you're poor. But if you got one, and yes, I only have 1 kid, so maybe that's a little convenient for me. But I just feel like you nailed it, Carmen. It's the gutting of the middle class is the good old days that I think are worth fighting back for.
Right. And I'm talking, and the reason I'm talking about 80s is that's when you started seeing affirmative action. That's when you started seeing brown people allowed to have jobs in spaces they weren't previously allowed to. You know what I'm talking about? That's like when a lot of those programs started. And so there was an opportunity for a lot of people that wasn't there before.
Well, that's over now.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
Didn't DEI start in 1968?
Yeah, but it wasn't
but
widespread until the 80s. That wasn't until they started complaining about it, was in the 80s and 90s. That was
also when some government bureaucracies were sort of enforcing it.
Mm-hmm.
The 68, I think, is when the Civil Rights Act is what DJ is referring to.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But I don't think it was implemented corporate America widespread until, a decade later. It wasn't really being pushed.
I don't know where DII started, but I know where the complaining started was actually upper middle class and non-mega rich people when they started seeing that they couldn't get their kids into Harvard. The American dream and promise used to be, if you get rich, your kids get to go to Yale. And when Gen X and younger boomers stopped getting that, and then they had to blame it on something.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, it's because you keep letting these Asians and blacks into Harvard and Yale. That's why little Tuscan can't get in.
Mm.
And that's when, that's when that stuff started becoming an actual movement. Because poor people have hated those things forever, but they didn't have no power to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Or white people,
Okay.
Or white people hated affirmative action from the jump, but they couldn't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until richer white people started hating affirmative action that it started to be this anti-movement that you see now.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad that Luigi was an upper middle class kid. Because those are the people that are going to be able to actually make a revolution happen. It's not going to be poor people. We're too expendable, too easy to kill. That's kind of, there's a business in that, in killing the poor. Anybody still eating rap chips? Anyways, thank you, producer
Mark. We were
just
talking about those.
Yeah, we sure were.
Like 20 minutes ago.
Anyways, hi. How's it going? What's you guys got anything that's gravy?
No.
I've been spiraling.
Yeah.
Been spiraling pretty bad. The whole, it's crazy. And you're right about the news cycle, because the two things that have been, and I do this and I get obsessed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just true. I get obsessed. I was fucking scared to death about, last year it was nukes,
mm-hmm.
and this year it's AI.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing about the $500 billion fucking deal with Sam Altman and fucking Larry Ellison,
mm-hmm.
Oracle and fucking dude, it's all everything that every conspiracist has ever fucking said forever is happening, just like they said it was happening, and people are just fucking, I'm losing my mind over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm freaking out. It's happening. We are fucking going to fucking be a mass of useless, non-critical thinking, won't be able to think thoughts without AI. It's going to control the workplace. It's going to take people's jobs. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what they're, and it's gonna, and then all of a sudden it's gonna think for us. It's gonna create our religion. We'll be worshiping it.
Already doing that.
Yeah, and we're already doing that, dude. It's so crazy. And you think about it, you start making all these connections with the amount of energy that it's gonna take out, and yeah, you know what they are. But I read this article about them going to Greenland and start trying to terraform there, and it was they're never going to make it to Mars. What they're going to do is they're going to pre-terraform for Mars here, so that when they suck up all the resources and everything, they'll have a solid plan of being able to gross stuff. Like they're not gonna make it to Mars. This is gonna be Mars. You know what I'm saying? And this is going to be a dried up, useless planet.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna be working in the mines and worshiping the fucking space god.
Producer Mark says they're going to turn us into batteries.
Yeah,
They already did.
yeah, they already are.
We're driving all this.
It doesn't help
I
that
was
they're
gonna say-
literally now they're banning the book 1984. They're banning all of these things. That's on the banned book list. Now you can't read 1984. Yeah, you can't read.
That's wild. What about Fahrenheit 451? Is that one banned? That was
No.
literally about burning books. That's the temperature in which a book burns. What about Brave New World? Because that's the one I keep going back to. I was gonna say my son has been throwing stuff into my bag, and so I found this when I was unpacking in my hotel room. And that was great for me. Getting back to the doom and gloom that DJ was touching upon, though, it is. I got so many thoughts. I have three, but they're very big and different. One is like if you dabble in conspiracy theory, what DJ's referencing, Oracle is a thing founded or helped start by Larry Ellison that was literally the CIA.
Yeah, surveillance, fucking.
But
I mean, it's like it's Black Mirror shit, and it is now gotten all these government contracts. I mean, it feels like too on the nose to be
God
real, and it's really scary. It's like, well, wait. We're supposed to be close to right, and then you guys do it slightly differently, and then we don't figure it out till a decade later, but we've all adjusted to it. It's like, no, they're just marching right through here. And
it seems like conspiracy theorists are giving them the blueprint. They're like, I bet you they're going to do this and this and this. And they're like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. Why don't we do that?
I said something like that the other day of like, I don't remember what we were talking about. I was like, yeah, some of us were freaking out, and I think some people were taking notes back when we were reading science fiction, dude.
Yeah.
I bet DJ, have you fucked with Adam Curtis? I think that's his name.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that, I saw that documentary, and either I wasn't ready for it or I hadn't processed what was going on. I enjoyed it. It was a little too jump to conclusions for me, but part of the stuff he touched on is this idea. It's like a social science term. It's almost like anthropological, of like hyper-normalization, where new insane shit gets accepted so quickly that you're like, wait a minute, am I nuts? Is it me?
Yeah.
Because what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And then Elon does the salute, and a part of you is going, why are you guys freaking out about the salute? Not saying you shouldn't be, but why is that the focus when we've had Nazis in the streets? And also they just gave all these government contracts to Oracle. But then the other half of you is going, and some of you are saying he didn't do it. We're all nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I think the salute thing, I think it's definitely just a distraction. And it's not,
for sure.
And it's also, we're talking about a megalomaniac as far as, even fucking Elon's babysitter when he was a kid was like, that kid is a fucking, he's a fucking, the Antichrist. And she asked Elon's mom, do you think he's the Antichrist? I think he might be the fucking Antichrist. And so this was his opportunity, and producer Mark just brought it up, but that was what I was about to say, Mark, is this was his opportunity to steal the spotlight, because he's not the president. He's not the one, quote unquote, in charge, but this was his way to be the person. Mm-hmm.
He's not going to. Yeah, he's not going to last either, because everybody knows he's just who he is. I mean, they gave the contract to Sam Altman, who fucking also got bodies, is evil, just murder people. You know what I'm saying? Murder, whistleblowers.
Worse than Elon.
Oh, dude, he's worse than it. Yeah, and he was
Someone could literally suck Elon's dick into being a good dude.
And it's so crazy until just right now, he's been a major Democratic supporter. He's been like a massive donor, and then he just flip sides. He got the fucking contract. Everybody's all fucking mad at him. You know what I'm saying?
The only reason I brought up the salute is I'm just saying that like the hyper-normalization, the concept is like as things that are very abnormal become the status quo, a lot of people will adapt really quickly, and the people who don't feel insane.
Yeah.
Well, it's also difficult for people who, I mean, I don't know. I feel like doing stand up kind of does help you because that's our job, is to observe and report in a funny way, to observe things, to critically think about things, to think about things outside of the box, et cetera, et cetera. I think like those mental gymnastics, like that training kind of helps in this situation where I was like, why are we talking about something we all emphatically know? It's like one of the most common, well-known things. We all know what that is. So what are you guys... This feels like when they took the gold standard away from us on Christmas Eve. Yeah. It's like now we're supposed to be paying attention to this. What did you just executive order into? Like, what did you just sign off?
Yeah. Are we
we're all women.
Next 4 years? Huh?
What?
Well, I said, and we're all women now. That was fun.
We're all women?
Yeah. But like, are we all supposed to be like spending like the next 4 years going, goddamn, gotcha, and then not doing anything about it? Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
People don't have to do, man. Well, the Nazis still have
Nazi shit. The Nazis doing Nazi shit. Like,
right.
And then do what? And then like, what are you like? It's like that's also what the goddamn.
They're gonna be rounding up trans people, and they're gonna be saying, no, they broke the law though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the law was that you can't be trans. That's just making trans people illegal. You can't do this. They're gonna be like, nah, they broke the law. And then we're just gonna be like, they're hypocrites. And then our friends.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I want us to get, like, we keep getting called radical. I want us to actually start being the radical left we keep getting accused of. I want to do some programs like guns for trans kids. I really want to like just arm them. You know what I'm talking about? Get as radical as we
I've
keep
been
getting.
talking about arming trans people.
I mean,
like, if my kid came out trans, the first thing we would do was get self-defense lessons. We would learn how to shoot. That would be the fucking very first thing. It'd be like, we'll get all this, but first thing you're gonna be able to fucking take care of yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's just like, I just like, how is basic human rights radical? How is us like having access to clean water? How is that radical?
It's not.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it's time we do start getting radical.
I think radical, isn't that a relative term?
Radical? Oh yeah. I mean, compared to what corporate America wants to do, yes, you are radical.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just real quick on a fun note.
Starve people to death. Good.
Yeah, on a fun note, Carmen, and to explain if anybody missed it when I made that stupid comment, Trump did an executive order to get rid of trans people, and said he declared that there are only two genders, and you are the gender that you were at conception. But scientifically, at conception,
we're all
everyone's a woman.
Yeah,
so that was the fun.
XX.
That was the little fun thing.
We're XX at conception.
Right. Yeah. So that's been a fun. We can then you can get off your misogyny jokes for a week if you want. Like now I can finally win an argument. That's a classic. I said they just did this so they could pay us less. I think that's a fun one.
I think it's just because boys really want to go shopping and they've been envy of us for all these years.
That was mine. I'm going to start making my friends compliment me when I walk into a fucking room and tell me that I'm a goddess.
Here's the thing.
Go off, queen. Go off, queen.
Thank you. I need that.
I think
it's about this. Sometimes I want to tell people about the dream I had last night. That was just my wife. Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah. No, I think if you really want action and you really want movement, then like one of the main things is to disconnect from the chattering class. You know what I'm saying? And like you have the idea, you know what you want, you know it's right. Okay, perfect example. This lady Bishop, right? Whatever. Dude, you know what I say about it all? I say tax the fucking church. I say tax the church. I think there needs to be separation between church and state. What are we even doing putting our hands on Bibles? What the fuck has a sermon got to do with it? Fuck that shit. Just fucking tax the church. That's what I feel about the whole situation.
hard agree. Just to give context again for people who may not know, this lady going viral, she was given the sermon at the swearing-in ceremony that happened at a church for whatever reason. And there's nothing, in my opinion, I don't want to speak for DJ, there's nothing wrong with what she said or did. It's basically, she gave the sermon and was like, basically, hey, don't be mean to people. Yeah. But the reaction to that has been like, more of this. And I'm like, more of what?
Yeah. Of her saying the same thing.
Fuck that.
Well, I think it's just, it's also, we haven't really gotten to see anyone say those things directly to that man. So I think that was, yeah, no. And I'm on board too. But I also think the bitch should pay taxes. So it's, I think both things are correct. I think it's fine to be happy that it happened. But also, I don't think that should change how you feel about anything. Like, nothing has changed. Someone just said a bunch of things that we've all thought and felt to someone we wish we could say those things to. That's very comforting. But at the same time, if you really want to help, bitch, put down the Bible.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
He should have went Old Testament on his ass. That would have been gnarly. That's metal shit to him.
There you go.
Like, your fucking children will be choking on the excrement of the men you have exalted to the high honors of the towers of the banks in this country. I ride on a pale horse, and the horse's name is Death, and then she should have shot him. And then I would have been like, okay, let's make a meme. This is memeable. And again, let's get some hypocrisy out of the way. We've joked about it on here before. DJ 3-4 episodes ago was like, we gotta get radical, and I was like, oh man, do we? And then he was like, we got a garden. I was like, thank God, dude. I thought you meant we had to blow shit up. I am a coward. Like, I acknowledge that. But I do think a huge split culturally in this country over the last 60 years between conservatives and liberals that has them winning in this moment is that comfort has not really been their culture. And it is ours. And there's nothing wrong with, it's good to want a middle class. It's good to want your friends, whether they be black or trans or gay or white or whoever, to have all the same opportunities. That's great. But their goal was much different and darker than that. My point being, now shit's gnarly and everyone's desperate for comfort. That lady made people feel better. Yeah. But feeling better right now is actually a detriment to what the reality of our situation is, dog. And I understand people's quest to feel better. It is human, and we need some salve. I get that. But if that's your only, and that's why the scrolling, we are numbed out. And that's why I said what I said earlier about Brave New World. 1984, I'm sorry, it sucks they banned it, but Brave New World is where we're at, in my opinion. I can't believe Altman and Zuckerberg and Bezos get to be in the room with the guy who allegedly was going to stick it to the elites. What a fucking...
It's insane!
By the way, there's some actual woke-ish Trump people, not woke in the sense of liking blacks, because they don't seem to, but there's some people who are very anti-establishment who are genuinely heartbroken right now.
Yeah, they are.
It's a little funny. Yeah. It's a little funny.
There are. There's a lot of people libertarians and the people, because dude, they're trying to push out all the anti-vax people, right? And now they're pushing out this vaccine, this fucking mRNA AI vaccine that's supposed to dude, what? What is happening?
Yeah,
what is happening?
I know. It's crazy.
It's crazy, dude. We're going to war with Mexico. This is crazy. Calling the cartels, put them on a terror list. You are setting up to put troops into Mexico as if we are just protecting because we are getting terrorists. This is what's going to happen. And Mexico is going to fuck us up. Listen to what we're saying here. Told y'all about the Houthis, and they still ain't nothing to fuck with. Mexico will fuck us up. And we'll deserve it. But they will fuck
we
us up.
We gonna lose Texas.
Yeah. We gonna lose Texas, y'all. It's gone. That shit's gone.
This is so dark and weird, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, it's strange for us to to not think about it, especially because all of
Right. It'd be weirder not to.
we've seen all these big markers before in other. I mean, if anybody studied history at all, these are all. I mean, and people who've studied capitalism, these are all things people have been shouting for the last fucking 20 years that this is not good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you look historically, there's only two ways to get out of this in a decent spot as a society and as a country, and that's to lose a war,
Mm-hmm.
and then have to reset, or like have some sort of leftist populist revolution. It doesn't necessarily have to be violent.
Yes,
But
it
that's
does,
been rare.
Drew. Don't you dare.
Yeah.
It does have to.
I'm saying
Especially
historically, it
here.
probably absolutely has to be here. Here it does. You are correct. I was just talking about historically. There's a couple of, but the point I'm making is historically. That's the only two ways it's been done. But what usually happens is someone strong arms and then another person strong arms, and you go 2-3 dictator types, and well,
Hey, don't say for a second right now that there is between the factions, between the tech bros and the fucking and the health people and the people who the war people and anti-war people, that there isn't like a massive struggle going on
yeah.
inside.
It's old money, new money. I mean, that's the crazy thing about tech. Yeah, room with Trump. They saw their shot and they took it. Yeah, there is. I don't even want to call it hope because it has dark consequences too. There is like a possibility of old colonialism killing this motherfucker.
Yeah,
These
dude.
days.
yeah,
And that's also dark.
yeah.
I don't know.
But they'll probably just buy him. They recognize that he's for sale. They'll probably just buy him.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I don't think they would need to because he's still useful to them. So I don't think it would be more of a headache than it was worth.
Well, it's just a matter of who's placed. So think about like who's in the room when big defense contracts, because that's like our biggest business as a country.
Oh yeah, that's all our business. That damn it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it used to be like Raytheon in there, and then Exxon saying, okay, and then we get to go in and get the oil. Now it's like tech.
Yeah.
So the question is there going to be an actual struggle, or are they just going to kind of merge? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to be like, all right, writing's on the wall. Let's just merge this up.
Yeah,
I guess what I mean is
Go ahead. What do you mean? Tell me what you mean.
I guess I mean with his base mainly.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
meant-
the
I
other thing
meant
too
with-
is I'm seeing a bunch of lefties going in dressed as someone that's a supporter, talking to these people, and they're basically saying a lot of what lefties say. In that, like, there was one that they want the same. They just don't realize they want the same things because they're not willing to have a conversation with somebody that disagrees with them. And I feel like there's a lot of lefties that feel the same way. But this is not a left-right thing anymore. This is a rich-poor thing, and it's been a rich-poor thing for a long time. But now it's becoming unearthed that way. And until until we can converse with people who are, unfortunately, either more ignorant or, more easily gullible or whatever the case is, until we start getting them to realize that we want a lot of the same things. Just sorry, some of them are black or some of them are trans, and there's nothing wrong with that. Until we can get that message through, I think it's still gonna stay like this. But I do think there is something to be said in that, like, it is getting all push tech because all these congressmen all these politicians, they're buying huge chunks of tech companies. They're buying huge companies.
Billions of dollars on AI and had trillions of dollars on AI, invested trillions of dollars on AI, and had to force it on us. None of it's good.
Dead. No, it's dead. It's not.
It's so fine.
Not with Google having a fucking quantum computer. All of that is all of that is dead technology in comparison to what we have. The quantum computer is a life-changing situation that I don't think people realize the severity of. Take all of the computing, all of the computing that has ever been done up to this point is hundreds of years behind how fast this fucking computer operates. Everything that we have created up until this point is obsolete in comparison to what the supercomputer can do. And they just have access to it. One company has access to it and has the rights to it.
Is it operational?
Yes, it's operational.
I didn't know that. I thought they were close.
Yeah, every password is obsolete. It will be. There is no security anymore with this technology that is available to us right now. So there's a lot of stuff that we're talking about that's happening right now that there is something that is unfathomable. AI is a fucking distraction to the real fucking problem as far as technology goes.
I don't know, man.
And that's what a fucking quantum computer can do.
Before you say I don't know, DJ, I think you guys are about to have a semantics argument, but go ahead.
When they start using the fucking algorithms to like pre-crime and all that fucking shit, when they get you on mass surveillance, and like AI is a problem. AI is murdering people a huge amount. AI systems put in not just in surveillance, but in like AI being put into the law. And the CIA,
United Healthcare was using too, and that's why that CEO got killed.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think you guys are sort of having a semantics discussion now, because I feel like those algorithms, I mean, part of Carmen's point is like, once, correct me if I'm wrong, Carmen, the quantum computing situation is that if they've untangled, or if they figured out how to do quantum supercomputing, it's basically an instantaneous process of mining information, correct?
Yes.
Regardless of size.
Yeah. So all of these systems, everybody's still talking about Windows 98. And we have something that is unlike anything else. So all of that stuff will be expedited and instantaneous, DJ. So yes, it is dangerous, but it's even more dangerous with this specific computer behind it, because it will all be incredibly faster, and all of those systems, and they'll be able to fix themselves faster as well. So I think this is
we're talking about what's more dangerous, the bullet or the gun.
Yeah, the whole thing is dangerous. I'm saying you could throw a bullet at somebody, but this gun will be able to shoot anything.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's always been hard for me to wrap my head around quantum entanglement in general. So applying it to computers, I got no shot. I do think we need to get back to GOAT core. I think we need to, both as a podcast and as a society, I think we should learn how to do jobs that have nothing to do with the cloud or being plugged in. And we pay each other in goats, in milk, and in eggs. And I don't just mean barters. I also mean like money, like make goats the money. That'd be cool. I'm kidding, but I'm also like, we've got to.
Not participating is really the only way we have to rebel without using violence. That's all of it. It's literally, huh?
I said it could be both.
It could be both.
I think we sound like alarmists to some people, and bless your hearts. I feel like none of what we're saying is as crazy as what's being said to us. I think that the American empire is going to crumble violently.
Yeah,
over
it was already crumbling. Yeah,
20 to 30 years.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
And some people will be able to avoid that. Like some people will live and die and go to school, and they'll hear about stuff, but it won't happen to them or whatever. It'll happen to probably their fucking neighbor. But my point is, like, your life can go on, but it's going to be dark. We have so many resources. I would be surprised if like everyone started starving. Not saying it won't happen though. I'd just be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be in that regard, I think it'll be there'll be a cannibalization of I don't know. And we don't have to get into this. Now we're predicting the fall and how the fall will happen. But I do think go ahead.
Great.
No, please.
It was already falling. Like,
yeah.
and I think that that's a
The last
big
6
reason.
years have been nuts.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
just
the last 6
happening
years have been
faster.
nuts.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, dude, since '91, it has just been a fucking free fall.
I'm talking about
right?
experiencing it. I'm saying, like, I feel like we sound like alarmists, but at the same time, the last 6 years have been fucking insane.
Yeah, it's
Our
fucking-
entire country shut down. They gaslit us into believing that the nurses were heroes while they wouldn't pay them. Motherfuckers was dying in the street. And then they just, whatever.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
It
I
is
would take everything
alarming.
back to,
I
like,
don't
the
know if
Iraq
we're
War.
alarmists. It's just alarming. What has been
Right.
happening is alarming. So now we're
Right.
like, well, if this continues at this rate, what will happen? Which all of that is alarming.
He made a 600 million fucking deal with goddamn a defense contract with the Saudis, man.
Oof.
With MBS stuff to enrich uranium, they gonna have nukes, cuz. That's not.
100%. Remember when I told you that the only thing Trump might do that will be in the end kind of pro-Palestinian is that he is for sale. So a Muslim country might be able to buy him.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I'm not a Zionist, but if I were, Israel should be worried about what Trump's fucking doing right now.
Yeah, dude, they should be real concerned. No, I totally feel like they're gonna get a 2-state solution or something like that and just build up. It's gonna be a crazy fucking thing. It's gonna be like hotels and shit. It'll be like Hawaii. Really, it'll just be like where the people who are alive will be dancing and giving you their cuisine and shit, and it'll be a nice a vacation resort.
Mm.
And fucking, you'll be like, oh, so how long have you lived here? As they goddamn stare at you with bloodline.
Well, I want everyone to know that if this sounds racist, I mean it as a compliment. I don't think they'll do that, dog.
You know, I know that.
I don't think they'll dance.
I don't think they're gonna dance either. I think they're gonna take that shit. I don't think I'll go for that. I don't think I'll go.
I can't go for that. No, can
Holy
do.
shit. It's so much like a fucking goddamn fucking, it's so crazy. Just like now at the part and like you're watching the thing. And I've been reading If I Should Die from Rafat. How do you pronounce that thing? I don't know. But it's so crazy because I'm like, now I'm all familiar with like all these places, Sajaiya and fucking Ramallah and all these places that he talks about with all his poetry. It's really, really beautiful. Fucking cry your eyes out. But it's also crazy, like reading this stuff, knowing about how long the resistance has been going on, knowing that this small little enclave of people fought for that long, dude, it's fucking great. Never ran out of weapons. Actually got people, like trained people, made their own fucking, dude, just take all the political shit away from it. Just take it as fucking just for what it is, like militarily, for this small enclave to fight these superpowers and like in such a way and survive. It's unreal. It's unreal. I'm sure they were saying that after Vietnam too.
Well, yeah,
But,
I was
like,
gonna
yeah,
say, I was gonna go even further back. Like it's like 300 is what it is. It was
like
you underestimated a small but passionate group of people, and I feel like there's plenty of passion here, but there is something to be said that Drew's talking about. Is there is a comfort in there is a comfort in somebody who's slightly less poor bringing you your groceries. There's a comfort in all of this is happening, but you can still get your shit door dashed. I don't know. We've been charmed by convenience to a point where we should be uncomfortable with how things are, and we're not as uncomfortable as we should be.
I feel like I'm
They're
only
charming us
comfortable
with convenience. Well, they're charming us with convenience because comfort used to mean security.
Yes.
And we don't have that by and large in this country. The middle class has been gutted. So we were given these other things in lieu of it. And by the way, that's what's wrong with millennials. That is our generation's defining situation. We don't have homes, but we got the app. And that's part of why it's so disgusting when like an older person is like, they fucking don't have jobs and they're always on their phone. And it's like, well, we don't have bills. Like we're supposed to. That thing in your soul that you desire, again, it's a good thing, but right now reality doesn't bear that you have it. it's not a comfortable time. It's a shitty time. You should feel shitty, and you should feel scared, I think. And I hate saying that because I know people don't want that, but it's like, man, I don't know. It's so funny because I started this podcast. We reframed this podcast because, like, I was so tired of feeling this way. Even that, I'm looking back on it going like, yeah, I was doing what I'm telling people to stop doing now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just been a wild 6 years, guys.
It's been a wild 6 years, and with the Democratic, there's really no other opposition to it. There's no opposition to it. The Democratic Party's in shambles. It's broken. There's fucking huge, there's nobody going to come up and be like,
right, and
big part
they're
of
all
you,
for sale too.
They were in on it. You know what I mean?
They're all for sale too, and they just don't want to feel bad about it. Like, they don't want to be the villain. And
totally.
But what's unfortunate is I do think that there is enough people in this country to have a party that does give a fuck without fucking not giving a fuck.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a workers' party, a labor party.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want to believe that. But just like earlier you said, we got to get some people to be like, and you know what? Some people in this party are going to be black or trans. You know what we also have to do to make it work? We also have to get some other people to accept, hey, you know what? Some people in this party are going to be racist and transphobic. And I don't know if we're going to get people to accept that.
War is the only time you get those two people to fight next to each other. Historically.
Right. I mean, that's where that goes back to that argument.
But also, you're paying them. The reason why they're fighting is because you're paying them and you're giving them a good fucking life. You're paying them the goddamn, you know what I'm saying? Giving them a schooling and giving them fucking health care, so they're willing to do that. Right. You know, I don't think anybody really fights for their country anymore.
I think other countries do. I don't think the U.S. does.
For sure.
Yes.
No.
Because why would I want to sacrifice myself for a country that doesn't give a fuck about me?
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't care about its people, and blatantly so. So it's like it's in vogue to be un-American, unless you're a Trump supporter. So it's like, unless you're, and then there's plenty of people who love this country. I love this country, and I wish it wasn't the way it is, you know? And I would like for it to be better, and I don't see that happening, which it makes me want to be un-American. That's the argument me and my dad got into. He's like, some of the shit that you're saying sounds terror in the terrorist realm. And I was like, well, yeah, think about every time that most of these people are attacking other places because their country's being shit on. My country is shitting on me. That's how you get domestic terrorism. That's how that happens. You are being harmful to us. And according to the motherfucking Declaration of Independence, we have every goddamn right to overthrow you if you are doing that.
Keep good, Mark. Hey, tell the chief while she does it.
Yeah. Keep it up. You hit for me. You know, I just did think about a thing though, about labor. It's like, fucking, I saw so many, like, and true enough, they're shit libs, you know what I'm saying? They're shit libs. But like during the TikTok ban, you know, I saw a lot of fucking rad leftists sticking together and being like, yo, that's 7 million jobs you just got rid of. That's fucked up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you know, instead of censorship, it's fucking taking away freedom of expression, freedom, you know what I'm saying? We know that this isn't about whatever. And I saw a lot of real shit libs saying, you know, y'all need to worry about something that's for real and fucking doing all kinds of stuff. I ain't never had that app. I ain't never had that. I got Red Note. I love it. Tell y'all what, here's something that's crazy. There's a meme that's on a goddamn Red Note that's to be cheap, that be showing the Chinese, the fucking Southern cooking and stuff. Mm-hmm. So goddamn, so, you know, biscuits and gravy and shit.
Yeah.
So like she did her fucking sweet tea recipe, and then one day, and then the next day she had to go back with like this whole like apology video. No, a disclaimer, like, no, it's 4 cups of sugar per gallon, not per cup. In China, goddamn, drinking goddamn sugar water, goddamn 4 cups. Like, goddamn, this Americans, they're fucked up. They fucked up over there. No wonder they got them so high strung.
Listen, I know we have other Southern listeners, but it is too fucking sweet. It is too much goddamn sugar in the goddamn sweet tea. It is awful. Oh my! You could stand the spoon up. There's so much fucking sugar in the sweet tea in the South.
I'm gonna be called a blood trader, but when I left the South and came back, I would have died arguing with you, Carmen, until I got away from it for a few years.
That's all it takes if you step away from it.
Put my lips to it, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
It gives your teeth fuzz. It's too much.
Yeah, I've been doing the half and half, and that's what's working for me. And in our revolution, you can drink any kind of tea you want. How about that? That's our first. Let's reach across to everybody. Whatever.
No,
tea.
I disagree. I think there should be a sugar tax. That should be a luxury tax. It shouldn't be on tampons. It should be on fucking sugar. You want to do drugs, you pay the VIG. If you want to do drugs, you pay the VIG.
I also just realized tea is probably, I don't know this, but it's probably one of the most like slave produced fucking commodities we got.
Is it?
I don't know. It's just cocoa is, coffee is, so it just feels like it would be.
Feels very, very, very. Yeah, it does have that feel. We threw it in the. Well, it's from India, right? We threw it in the goddamn ocean.
Mm-hmm.
We told the ocean.
Told them motherfuckers, you better fucking get it together.
Get it together.
That's what we gotta do now, y'all.
Those are rich guys.
Yep.
Now it is weird. It is weird that you like. Oh yeah. So again, it's like, I feel like there's as much division amongst the so-called left and the so-called right as there is in the right and in the left. It's just all divided. There's going to have to be a breaking point where it's like, okay, we can get on board. We can all stand up for this thing.
Yeah.
I'm not standing up for no preachers, y'all. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing that.
I don't want you to. I'm not asking that of you.
Ass.
I think that
what do you tell me to do?
At one point, one thing I was thinking of when Carmen was inspiring me was it would be time for millennials to start to take over positions of power in a normal course of history as we know it as Americans. The age that we're at, the things that we're doing, blah, blah, blah. I think the oldest millennials are like 44-ish right now. So we would be like getting there. But going back to the gutting of the middle class and us just being the generation that had the biggest, like, we're not doing better than our parents. And we're the first time that happened by and large. We're not able to. Like, money is power in this country, and we don't have any. The very few of us who do are in the billionaire class, and they, want very different things.
Yeah, I think the closest you get to something like that is you get like a city. There's a city council, and that's why I think there's a lot of. You want to talk about something that's great? There's a lot of good things that are happening in local governments. There's way more good work being done like in your neighborhood as opposed to nationally. And I think the closest you get to that is like AOC, and she's still not doing anything that she not all the shit that she wants to do. But I mean, that she's closest, I think, in age to where you have somebody who's not taking all the money. She's not a millionaire. She's not doing all that shit and not getting rich like these fucks are. But
I think that Carmen should run.
No.
Oh, I know that was a joke.
I'm not a good leader. I got ADHD.
If you want me to say something,
I can't stay focused.
If you want me to say something serious and you want me to say something positive, here on Gravy Baby, what Carmen just said is, I think that's like so important. Genuinely, if you want to do something, if you want to feel better, get involved locally, both in politics and just like. Yeah, DJ said it a couple weeks ago. Make a community garden. That is because here's the thing: if they do start rounding up trans people for being fucking trans, you're gonna need to know who they are close to you if you're gonna hide them in your basement.
Yep.
And if you don't know who they are close to you, you're not gonna be able to hide them in your basement. You're also gonna need to know who the cops are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And which ones will come by and knock on the door, and then you and then keep going if they like you, and also the ones who fucking won't and killed it. No, I didn't say that. That was a bit. But
And then all the white folks that listen to this, I need you to learn 2 words: la
It's almost all of
migra. La migra. Anytime you see ICE coming into your town, you scream la migra and let everybody know that they're there.
all right, well, we nailed it. 2:00 on the nose. I'm gonna be at Zany's. Well, no, we're putting this out tomorrow, I guess. Fuck it, Mark, put it out. Put it out as soon as you can, brother.
He said
Name this one. What did DJ say? I wanted it to be titled, but he said he was talking. Oh, god damn it, my brain ain't didn't. I didn't sleep last night.
Temperature is not temperature.
I didn't either. I've been fucking tripping, dude. I've been losing. I've been spiraling out. I hate my brain.
It wasn't tripping. It was something about like we've sucked this planet. We're Mars. What did you say about Mars? This is Mars.
This is Mars.
Yeah, we're just I said that.
Yeah,
I don't remember saying that, but that's fine.
You're talking about terraforming Greenland, and
Greenland.
we're not making it to Mars. We're the Mars.
Yeah, these
This is
talking
Mars.
about. They're talking about being on the frontier and settling. Like any of them are gonna get cold. Like they're gonna be out there fighting. What a bunch of fucking. We're gonna bring it. Like they want to be colonial. They want to be colonized.
Mm-hmm.
God, it's so crazy.
I've been telling Andy
The
that
spirit
she
of
needs
America.
to. I've been trying to get Andy to have sex with me, telling her I'm going to die on the front lines of Greenland. And it's
You're gonna die in the mines.
buddy, I'm going to die by my own hand, dog. When they come to me.
Oh, that's true.
I'm
Nobody's
going
gonna
out.
kill me but me.
I'm
That's
going
not...
out in a blaze, dog. All right. I'll be at
Hey, one more thing. Before we shut up, I want to give a shout out to the Gravy Gang, the Spook Buddies, the Conspiracy Babies. We figured out the fires. We figured out who started the fire. Who started the fire? The LA fires. It was Mel Gibson. We know Mel Gibson did it.
Yeah, I saw his fake ass crocodile tears talking about it. I saw a video of him. Yeah, Mel Gibson did it. Go ahead.
Yeah. You for all kind of numbers of reasons. Get his for revenge, to get back on it. He's a
producer. Mark said James Woods helped too. You could tell James Woods wanted to get back.
He was in there.
He was trying to back. Yeah, he was trying to back up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
and just want to remind everybody the next Conspiracy Babies meeting is January 30th. So if you want in on that, join the Discord, get in there. I also, some positivity, I wanted to thank the Gravy Babies that threw money at me to go buy stuff for the place I volunteer. And I've already made one shipment, and today is the next one for everything that everybody sent. I'm going to buy towels and pillows and all this other shit today, actually right after I leave here to go deliver. So I appreciate all you guys' help, and also to the crew that hangs out when I play video games. If you're not a video game person, that's also okay. The point is the hang. Everybody there, and we talk to each other. People bitch about their lives, and it's just a hang. That's all it is. I just also am telling people. Yeah, on Twitch. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, dude.
So just another way for all of us to hang out.
I only have 2 shows planned forever at the moment. I'm certain there will be more, but at the moment I have no shows planned other than Zany's tonight. It's an audition. I'll have 5 minutes. It's going to be awful, but it'll be fun for you guys if you came out. And then I'll be in Marietta, Georgia tomorrow for 2 shows at the Alley Stage Inn as part of the Honest Box
Comedy Festival.
And I'm not entirely sure that company's not full of evil people, but we're still going to...
You don't know until you know.
I'm still gonna go.
Support it. Go watch Just Drew perform at the Honest Box.
The other comics seem lovely. I didn't mean to disparage the performers. And listen, if I didn't get on stage for people who I found to be evil, there would almost be no shows, guys.
That's true.
That's I almost feel like we should apologize. I don't know why. I just feel it's almost like I hate being the bearer of bad news, but like bad news, guys. It's going even faster than I expected.
Yeah.
It's going fast.
My son put this in my bag. I choose to believe he did it for me.
I just love that you're using it. You're like,
Why wouldn't I? That's
for the
what you say.
people
My son's
who aren't
mouth is
watching on
nasty.
YouTube, he has like a pacifier spoon that he's just
Yeah.
Is that a rave?
Well, I seek comfort
And it's
in
your
objects given to me by my loved ones. You can learn stuff from the children.
It'd be funny if he's at home like, where the fuck is my blue squishy thing that I chew on? Where the fuck is it?
No, he's got like 40 of these, dude. You think his mama buys him one of anything? What about his grandma? What about his other grandma?
That's cute. I love it.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Sorry we were a drag this week. We'll do better next week, and we'll try to keep it. We'll try to provide uncomfort and comfort.
I won't. I will not be better next week.
God, I hope I am.
Comfortably uncomfortable is the new name of the podcast.
Comfortably dumb. That's Pink
like
Floyd,
that.
baby. Pink Floyd,
like that.
comfortably dumb.
Yeah, I like that name.
You
Guys,
guys are
I'm gonna
wonderful.
go. I'm supposed to be working right now.
Okay.
All right.
You guys are wonderful.
Bye,
Thanks
guys.
so much for listening. Join the Patreon, patreon.com/gravybabypod. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,